All right, so if you were in the Northeast last week, the air quality, notification, sometimes you'll get on your phone, let's say hazardous air quality, and you step outside and it's like 75, partly cloudy, like it's the nicest day you've ever seen in your life, right? Or it's just a regular summer day, right? You see it. For once, this notification actually came to fruition a little bit, especially like I said, with the Northeast, you got New York, Washington, D.C. It even crept down a little bit into Virginia. They finally saw what this notification was in full force. So, anyways, I'll explain a little bit more about it. We got a fun little question about this. But let's just take a look at New York City and how it was transpiring last week. Right, so yeah, those were a result. That got really dark really quick. But those were, as you can see in the video, it started off pretty light, just some regular smoke, but it got really dark. So why did the smoke get so dark? It was due to the Canadian wildfires. And over 400 are going on right now in Canada. It's summer. It's obviously hot. Sometimes it gets a little too hot in that dry area. A lot of Canada, especially in the central part, like, in Wisconsin and Tennessee, in the middle of the USA, it will get, it'll get very humid. Humid's a word you'll hear a lot. And in that area, it just gets very dry. So it gets dry and it sometimes can turn into fires. And we'll provide some more information. Again, we're not the news. There's some really good sources with this. We'll provide some links below, or maybe a link to an article, more information if you're curious about that. But anyways, I wanted to talk about, would you go outside and chase this storm? Would you go outside? And it's not really a storm, it's more of a weather event. Because I don't know, we have that in our blood. My dad, there was a water spout 10 years ago in Kenosha, Wisconsin, where we're from, and he went out to go record. So a water spout, if you didn't know, is kind of like a tornado, but less severe. And of course, there's people who chase tornadoes too, which in my opinion can be a little crazy if you're too close. But I find it interesting, and especially if you do find weather stuff fascinating. Obviously this wasn't a tornado, but it's very hazardous if if you breathe this in. But Jake, what I would ask you is, would you step outside? And if so, what would you do with this air going on? Say you lived in the middle of New York. And if not, why not? Would you take that risk?
Yeah, I want it. Because I want it just because, if it says air quality is bad, I mean, just I wouldn't take the risk. I would just swing inside, where there's nice air, so not have to worry about that.
I would say though, that'd probably be the only time you could
It'd
drive
be
through
interesting though.
Yeah, that'd probably be the only time you could drive through New York City without any traffic. I will say that because nobody's on the road during
Yes,
that. No,
yes,
I would not want to be on the road. But all seriousness, though, I think I would try. I would try because I kind of have that in me too. I want to chase storms. And the main thing with usually the low air quality, what does the alert say? It's for sensitive groups. So I didn't actually look into it
yeah,
too much. I don't know if this extra air quality I assume it would affect more than sensitive groups, but I didn't know. But anyways, if it was way too like if there was like very scientific data is telling me not to go outside, of course I wouldn't go outside. But if there was a little bit of a risk, I'd step out my front porch, right? I'd get out there. First thing I would want to, does it feel anything? Like, do I feel anything with this air? If I feel way too like, if I don't know, if my throat gets way too dry, or even if I feel something on like my skin, I'm stepping right back in. But if I don't feel anything, it'd be cool to go look around in that. Don't drive in that, of course, like my New York City joke I said. But it'd be
yeah.
cool to kind of search around, I think. So anyways, some people maybe finally wore a mask for the first time over this. That's more serious than it depends. Maybe they thought it was more serious than COVID. That was another funny thing I saw out there. But anyways, stay safe, y'all. But seemed like you lasted those first few days.